Right, okay, this is another video. I'm doing it. I am actually doing another video. I am arsing around with lighting because something weird has happened. I don't know if you can obviously tell this. I look orange. I kind of look like Donald Trump. This is not like what I'm going for here. Like I've got no idea what's going on basically, and there appears to be no way to control this. Because like I could theoretically do it in like post-production or whatever, but then it would change the background. Hello, I am Cliff. This is Production Line, my car factory strategy game. And have I got a new webcam since last time? Maybe, I don't know. But it must be something to do with the lighting. I don't really know what's going on. It's very sunny outside, and maybe light bounces around. Maybe there's something really red somewhere, or is it that light? Maybe I need to get different light bulbs. Or something. I haven't done one of these videos in a while, as you can probably tell from my PewDiePie-like smoothness with the YouTube experience. But never mind. There's loads of stuff that's gone in the game that I want to talk about because we did a new update recently, and I'll probably talk about all sorts of other things. Before I do any of that, just some crazy things. Like, let me just swap to this. Like, whoa, you know, everything's changed. But look, I found a thing when I was messing around. This would totally be worth it, right? I reckon this is what like young people do on YouTube. Because like close up, look, oh my god, the skin texture. Look, he's old. But I found a thing. Where is it? Sharpness, isn't it? Look, that's like proper skin. And this is like. Oh my god! Like, what's going on here? This is kind of like oil of Ulay moisturizing or something, and now, oh my god, it's back! It's just a sharpness filter on the webcam. I reckon loads of young people just have that on permanently, don't they, to make themselves look younger or like smoother. Everyone seems to want to look like a boiled egg. Anyway, whatever. Right, enough of that silliness. So what's happened? We've done a big update. I also bought the most ridiculous monitor. This is vaguely related to games and not skincare. I bought a... I can't even see the logo on it. Is it Samsung? It is Samsung, which I'm not a fan of really. But anyway, you can now get, and I have one, and they're amazing, and I'll put up some images of it while I'm talking about it. I bought a Samsung 49-inch 49-inch monitor, bigger, maybe bigger, I don't know, but it's 5120 by 1440 res, which is mad. It's exactly the same resolution that I had already, but I had it on two monitors, so I had a big bezel in the middle, and I didn't like that, and that was annoying, and you couldn't put something in like the middle of the screen, and if I played a full screen game, then I would have to pick one monitor to put it on, and so now I have this ridiculously huge monitor with only one cable instead of two, and it's really good, it's really cool. Anyway, the reason I mention it is not just because Battlefield 5 looks amazing on it. I'll put a little clip of from Battlefield 5 up in really low res over this. Not only is it really cool and everything, but Production Line works on it. It works at every resolution, and it's funny when you get a really crazy monitor, you find that a lot of games don't work well with them. They don't work well with the aspect ratio, which and when we say aspect ratio, we mean like the kind of width of the screen divided by the height, or the other way around, whatever. They don't like the aspect ratio, and they don't like the sheer tonnage of pixels. They don't like the size, and you'll know this if you've got like a stupidly big monitor. A lot of things don't want to go beyond 4K, and you can understand that because like in the old days, like with gratuitous space battles, for example, it used to only support a monitor that was like 2048 pixels wide, because you have to create all of these off-screen render targets to draw everything. So if you have a really big screen, if it goes beyond 2048, just the way maths works and the way computer rendering technology works, you tend to have to go out in powers of 2. So a 2560 res monitor, if you have an off-screen surface, as we call it, or text, instead of being 2500 pixels wide, it'll have to be 4096. And if you go over 1024 height wise, which you will, it'll have to be 2048. So suddenly you have 4096 times 2048. It's like more than 8 million pixels have to be rendered, or you have to have the memory for them in each off-screen buffer that you may have. But if you go beyond 4096, the next step up is 8192, I think. I can't do it in my head, which is massive. So a lot of games just can't cope with that. I won't list the games that can't cope with it. Actually, I think Battlefield 5 can, but it just can't render super high detail at that kind of tonnage. Even I had to buy a new video card. I bought a new video card. I bought one of these RTX cards, which is good, but it's not amazing. It doesn't really make a massive difference. If you're wondering and you have a massive factory this size or bigger, and you're playing the game and you've got a really old PC and you think maybe I need to update something, it is CPU bound. You are almost certainly CPU bound in production line if your frame rate is low. There's a lot of graphics card optimization, rendering cleverness that goes into making sure that this is actually far fewer draw calls than you'd think for what goes on, and they're batched fairly sensibly, and I don't do a lot of shader stuff. So the game, generally speaking, is CPU limited, and it's CPU limited by the routing of all these little objects flying around like these. That's what slows things down. Anyway, enough of this nonsense. Let's talk about the game. So recently updated the game to version 1.79. You should have that now if you bought it through the Humble Store, if you bought it through GOG, if you bought it through Steam, or you bought it through the widget. If you did buy it through the widget or the Humble Store, you might need to like re-download it and reinstall it, but whatever. We're now on version 1.79. I don't know if I did even a video for 1.78, but there's loads of new stuff that's in. I have a really itchy nose. Again, professional. So there's a load of stuff that was fixed that I won't bore you with, and a load of kind of like minor GUI stuff, like you can scroll on here with the mouse wheel, which you couldn't before. But a lot of stuff comes down to sorting and searching. So we added a search bar here. So for example, if I type in chip, it will take me to make computer chip. It saves all this like unraveling stuff. And what else is there? Windscreen is a word, isn't it? Yeah. By the way, searching in computer science is kind of a fixed problem. We know how to do it. It's fast. Modern chips are stupidly fast. When you go to something like Netflix, is one of my hates, or Amazon Prime, and you start typing in the names of like a TV show you want, and you get like a little progress bar come up, and it's like, that's awful. Okay, searching is quick. It really didn't take long to code that and put that in. It was easy. So we have that, and we also have it here. I don't know if I've mentioned it before. And that will search over all three tabs. So if we have like that, I knew would change tabs, which is why I typed it in. Yeah, faster conveyor, etc, etc. Now if you've been playing the game a lot, you know where everything is, but if you don't, hopefully this searching is a little bit better. I changed some of the user interface for when you put this stuff down, because it was going to a dark green and it looked wrong, and it also now highlights things that aren't connected in a certain way. Loads of little things like that. Look, this, oh, you missed it. Down there, when you see a little pop-up window, they now have a close button, so if you get loads of them, you can close them if they bug you before they automatically go. Loads of stuff. There's loads of like really minor quality of life things that kind of remember the sort order. So if you open a window like this, you can now sort these up or down, for example, and it should remember them. So I did that on produced. If I opened it up again, yeah, it remembers the sort order of everything, and you can sort things. There were things you couldn't sort before, like this. You can sort these now, and of course it will remember them as well. I also changed the design of this to look a bit nicer. which I think is way better. Also this, you know, this tells you there, look, you've got 73 cars in the showroom. That's great, but which ones? Now if you click on it and open, you see this. I'm going to improve this because when you get a load in there it's annoying. Or you can do this now and it will show you this, and it does update in real time. I think that's a handy thing. I'm really pleased with that. Oh my god, loads of things that I fixed. Hybrid powertrains are now worth less to customers than they used to. I think that reflects really what's gone on in the very fast moving world of electric cars and hybrid cars in the real world since I started making the game. I've always had an electric car since working on this game, but it wasn't they weren't as common then, and the car I had beforehand was a hybrid car, and I expected hybrid cars to become more of a thing. But actually it seems in the real world that electric cars are kind of crushing hybrid cars. I would say personally, having owned both, having owned all three, having owned petrol, hybrid and electric, don't buy a hybrid car. If you don't want to drive a fossil fuel car anymore, and like your car's about to die out and you can't afford the electric car you want, I would say wait. Like eke everything you can out of your petrol car. Hybrid cars are a horrible compromise. They're really complicated, and what you basically get is you get a crap electric car and a crap gasoline car together in under one hood with all the problems. Electric cars are getting cheaper and cheaper and more amazing. So anyway, we've reflected that, we've rebalanced the game. I shouldn't start talking about electric cars as I will never shut up. What else have we got? Search bar added, yeah, done that. Fixed missing resources. Yeah, there were a few on here under certain circumstances. Certain stuff wouldn't be listed. It's fixed. Yeah, the hybrid powertrain, actually talking about that, it now never becomes common. It will always be rare. Because there was a time when I thought that it would become the default for every car to be hybrid, and then there'd be electric cars which were niche. But it seems like people didn't move to hybrid fast enough, and now electric cars are kind of more of an option. So actually, we've changed that in the game as well. And what I'm talking about, by the way, is if you go here to features, you'll see the sort of rarity of stuff. So a hybrid powertrain is now rare here, and it will fix save games now. So if you load in an old save game where they used to be common, they won't be, they'll be rare. And I think that better reflects the real world. So what else have we got? Did not try. Oh yeah. Oh, there was a really stupid. There was a really minor thing, right, that no one would mention. I'm not doing any research right now, am I? Did I add some things? I've got some modded things in here. Right, I'll research that just so I can go to. This was a really stupid little bug, but no one ever mentioned it. That if you had the three little icons in the corner here, and you drag this, they didn't drag with it. But I can't demonstrate it because it's not applicable to that. Anyway, fix that. Right, so anyway, we have new stuff. We have some a little bit of new artwork. There's that little close button. So we never really finished marketing when we were developing the game. So that's improved now. We've got some extra stuff. We have billboards, we have product placement, we have website banner ads, we have social media, and we have sponsorship. I know these were available in a mod someone did. I think actually more than one person did a Steam Workshop mod that had all kinds of stuff, and I installed it out of curiosity, and look, there's hundreds of things if you like that kind of stuff. But this is part of the base game now, which I put in even though it was a mod because I thought that like I'd always intended to and hadn't got round to it, and people would naturally sort of say, well, you know, how come I can't do internet advertising? You know, it seems like a fairly basic thing for cars these days. So they're in there. That's just a generic spy in front of a generic sports car. I don't think that resembles anything for legal reasons. The old football here with the sort of car company logo on the side. That's one of the car company logos. And yeah, I love this artwork. I think it's really good. I love it. So anyway, so there's new stuff there, and you can research that. And we actually changed the icons for this to be processes. Yeah, because in the past there was like a generic marketing icon, and now you've got like the little icons for each kind of one that you would do. So that's new content for free. Something else we changed, because it really annoyed me. If you look at the lights, the car headlights look better. They just look a lot better than they used to. Some of these are LEDs, some of them are not. They're kind of brighter and different. But more importantly, if you turn the car around, you'll see that the back of a car, it actually has the coloured lights. So indicators tend to be yellow, brake lights tend to be red. Terminology, again, Americans call indicators blinkers, I think. We call them indicators. Tail lights, brake lights, reversing lights, whatever. The lights that are red at the back are actually red at the back. And I think that makes quite a difference to the look of the kind of look of the game. I think it just looks a little bit. Just like zoom in like that. I think that it just looks better, right? It looks right. I think before it didn't look right. It was always bugging me. And anyway, we changed that. So this is all the stuff that's gone in. This is version 1.79. I don't have a massive list of extra stuff that I'm going to be putting in the game, but I do love working on the game, so I probably will. I'm very busy with other stuff as well. But anyway, we have an expansion pack that is going to be coming. It's very exciting. It will be a little while yet. It is, because it is mostly, I mean, it's content. It's mostly content. So the idea is, it's purely visual, so it won't matter if you don't want to buy the DLC. Don't buy the DLC. It won't matter one bit. Wow, we've got really bad profit margins on some of these. Anyway, what will happen when it's done is all of the base vehicles, not the supercar, but the base vehicles, will have an alternate variant style-wise. So we'll have a different-looking sedan, a different-looking pickup, different off-road, different van, different SUV, compact. I've missed one, sports. So they'll all have a different visual option, and you'll have a little toggle button here where you can go badonk and like toggle between the two. And I think that would be kind of cool. Some people will probably use that to signify like the high-end cars or the low-end cars or whatever. I mean, at the moment, that's a bug. Is that a bug, or is that just... Oh, that's just super bright shading on that, isn't it? I never noticed that before. Look at that. That's super polished. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting distracted. So you can have two SUVs, and currently in the game, if you have two SUVs, they look exactly the same. So what people tend to do is they tend to assign different colours in this user interface down here. And yeah, you can do that, but wouldn't it be cool if there was just more variants? The reason I'm not just putting that in the game and I'm making it DLC is that it involves redoing the graphics for all of the cars. What it effectively involves doing is redoing all of the car graphics in the game to have a variant of them. And as you can imagine, that's a big chunk of the art budget of the game. That's a big chunk of the game. But I thought it would be cool, so I'm hoping I can sell enough copies of the DLC. It won't be super expensive or anything to like cover the cost of it. I don't really want to make money from it, but you know, that's why it's DLC. I don't want to put up the price of the game or anything like that. Anyway, that is all the stuff that has gone in recently to production line, which is my car factory strategy game. Here it is. By the way, I am the designer and programmer of the game, Cliff. So that's what's gone in. I don't know when I'm going to do another video. Obviously I'll do a video for the DLC and I'll get very excited and I'll show it off before it's released and stuff like that. And I will still probably be adding some other things. I do have some things that I don't want to commit to, but they're in my calendar as cool stuff I want to add. I'll do another video when I've done that. But anyway, please buy the game. It is on Steam. You can also buy it direct on our website. You still get a Steam key. It doesn't make any difference whatsoever, except we get more money. And it's also on GOG and the Humble Store. And if you like it, please leave a review. More importantly, tell your friends. Actually, there's something you can do. I've noticed that Steam gives like extra coverage to games that are being broadcast. So like if you play the game a lot and you have a decent internet connection, if you toggle on that option on Steam that says broadcast your game, that's cool because it shows people who are visiting the store this is what the game actually looks like. rather than sending them to YouTube to look at you know, like dedicated Let's Plays. I don't know, I've done that a little bit when I've been testing, and you get quite a few people watching. It's quite interesting. Anyway, also in the comments, if you know why I'm this colour, because look, I'm not normally this colour. I'm not actually this colour. I mean, if I turn all this off, I'll probably just... It's the lighting, isn't it? It's the lighting. I'm going to get a different... It's this one. I'm going to get a different bulb. I'm not, because they're LEDs and they last forever and I hate waste. I bought the wrong colour bulb. I can't see anything now because I've stared into it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you at some point.